5 counterintuitive lessons that I learned from reading books. Since 2019, I have read, like 200 plus self-improvement books, and there were so many lessons that are really, really counterintuitive. When you think about it from from your perspective, they are really, really counterintuitive. It means that you think that they are bullshit. But in reality, these are the lessons that actually helped me, improve my life. And in this video, I'll be sharing 5 such lessons with you that I have learned throughout the 3 years of my lifetime, and I hope they provide the value that I mean to provide. The first lesson is stop being a nice guy. This is something really, really controversial. Many people think that being nice is really, really good. And that is why they do it. Like their parents or someone else told them that, becoming a nice person is a really, really good thing. But the truth is, becoming nice is not a good thing. Like most of the people don't deserve niceness from you. And being a nice guy is a bad thing, but being a kind person is a good thing. Let's take an example. If you have seen your friend, like you might have seen the behavior from your friends, or you might be the one who is doing this. Think about it. You are in a friend circle and you only have guys around you, and they're goofing around, you're talking about it, you are, making fun, you are bantering, you are doing all of that fun stuff. And as soon as your crush comes to that group, you become kind of, dog-like and start telling, oh yeah, hi, welcome, hi, what we're talking about. You just change your complete behavior. You're this cool fucking guy, talking about bullshit, and you're making crazy theories and crazy talks. Like you're talking really, really bad things. Like you're talking slangs, you're doing all of that. But as soon as a girl, especially a girl you like, comes up, you completely change your behavior and become extremely nice towards her and treat her like a queen. And that is what's wrong with you. Just change your behavior to show someone that you are nice. And that is what the book No More Mr. Nice Guy talks about. The nice guy syndrome. He talks about it as a syndrome that where people behave nice because they think that being nice will attract the opposite gender. And that is fake niceness. You are doing it to get something in return. And when I read that book, it was really, really life-changing lesson for me, because I was also doing that. I was also changing my behavior to make other people like me. I wasn't being me. I wasn't being who I really was. I wasn't sharing the authentic self of myself with people who I wanted to attract. I just shared a really, really, cut out version of myself, cutting out my imperfections, cutting out my bad behaviors, all of that thing I cut out, and I saw a perfect picture of myself, the perfect nice guy. And in that pursuit, I lost that girl. Like really, it was crazy. I lost that girl because I was overly nice. And that's what made me realize that you need to be your authentic self. All your imperfections, all the bad things that you do is a part of you. It doesn't mean that you go and start smoking and drinking and say that, oh, these are bad parts of me, but it's okay. That's not, bro. I'm not talking about that. Bad parts mean your behavior, like you are being rude to someone because someone treated you badly. That is not a bad thing, right? Like 90% of the people don't deserve niceness from you. Like most of your friends are not your friends. Like you won't realize it sooner after you get out of college. You get into real life, you'll realize that 90% of your friends are not your friends. They were friends with you because you were in school together. That's just it. And only 10% of your friends will be your friends. That's why, you will see your friend circle reducing and very small people even contacting you. Even you won't even contact some people. That happens because that's just fucking life. Most of the people are friends with you because of the things you do together, not because they fucking like you. And you need to let that sink in. That's a fucking life lesson too. And you know what? Stop being nice. You need to be yourself. If there is something bad in your behavior, like for example, someone is talking rude about yourself. Let me give an example. When I was in school, there was a guy the context was my mom has, she was learning about, parlor and stuff. So she cut my hair, and it was really, really messy. It wasn't really that good, like, the kind of cutting you get from a barber. So he came and kind of commented and said that, you don't have the money to go to a barber, right? I was like, no, it's not like that. My mom was learning, that's why I allowed her to cut it. But I felt really, really bad back then. But I never, didn't show him that I felt bad. I acted like cool. Oh no, that's because my mom cut it, and I'm really really happy about that. But I wasn't. He told me something, and I was ashamed. I was angry, but I didn't show it. And recently that same guy, we were outside of a food, food chain, something called as Mew Amor, and that guy came out, and I was like, "Oh, hi, how are you doing?" And at that time, I was like growing my hair, so it was kind of messy. And right now, I'm also growing my hair out. So back then, that was kind of messy, and he told me that looks like you still don't have any money to cut your hair. I told him that, you know what, you still haven't gone past our childhood days. And his eyes were wide open. He told me, you remember? Yeah, of course I fucking remember. You were that creep who commented on my hair, right? And you're still commenting, bro, I look cool in this hair, and you don't even. You are fucking fat. You look fucking ugly. And I couldn't even believe that I was talking like that, because I wasn't that kind of person previously. I was the kind of person who would have said, "Oh no, because I'm growing my hair out, no, that's why." I was that kind of person, and after reading that book, I have changed my personality a lot. I only speak what I intend to. Like I told him, "You're fucking fat. You look fucking ugly. Why are you commenting about my hair? At least I have muscles. I'm more lean than you." That, and that man, and we just exchanged a really awkward smile like this, and he just left. It was a fucking weird incident. So you just need to learn that 90% of the people don't deserve your niceness. So don't be nice, be yourself. If you are authentically nice to someone, that will come in your behavior too. And if you're not, if someone is weird with you, someone is behaving bad with you, this will deserve to be behaved bad by you. So don't think that you need to be nice to everyone and every fucking person you meet. That's just a fucking myth that your parents, that the society told you. Being nice is the, recipe to failure. Stop being nice. Second, don't listen to success stories, bro. Like, so many fucking people listen to success stories and think that, oh, I'm gonna leave that. Like, they listen to the story of MBA Chaiwala and think that, oh no, I need to quit, I need to drop out of college, I need to drop out of my MBA and start the tea stall. I need to drop out of my school and I will become the next Mark Zuckerberg, I will become the next Bill Gates. But most people don't. You know why? Because when talking about success stories, we talk about one success story. And for one success story, there are 10,000s of people who failed. There are 10,000s of people who dropped out of college and didn't succeed. For one people who succeeded. And we only study about the one person who has succeeded. We never talk about the 100,000 people who didn't succeed. The 10,000 people who, opened tea stalls and are still in a low income household. But you only talk about the people who opened a tea store and became a fucking millionaire. This is something called as survivorship bias, and it means that we only focus on the survivors, the people who have succeeded, and we never talk about all the people who have failed. There are thousands of people who, started their YouTube channels, but 90% of them failed. You know why? Because they were not disciplined enough. They didn't had what it takes. And only 1% of them, succeeded. And we only talk about the one person. Oh, Mr. Beast, we need to talk about Mr. Beast, we need to learn from Mr. Beast. No, bro. There are thousands of people who failed. And you need to know about their story too. And you need to learn about why they failed. Because the reason most people failed is the reason that you are going to fail too. And by learning why most people failed, you are going to win. Because you would avoid the same mistake that they did. Avoiding mistakes is, more easy than, doing the right things. You need to do the right things. You can do the right things, or you can avoid mistakes. And avoiding mistakes is really, really easy than doing the right things. So you need to know that about all the success stories you hear, 90% of the people who did that same thing failed. So learn more about failure stories. People who failed at something. Learn from them and learn the mistakes they have made. Like there are three main mistakes that people make. Either they don't have the skills, second they don't have the characteristic traits, and third they don't have the beliefs. And this is something that Alex Hormozy talks about. They don't have three things to succeed in life. So whenever someone tells you a success story, be aware. Just know for a fact that for one success story there are 10,000 of failure stories in the same context. Lesson number 3, suffering is necessary. Like this is something that I learned from Mark Manson. He talks about this lesson a lot. And the thing is, suffering is necessary because we human beings, we avoid suffering. We want comfort in our life. We avoid anything that makes us uncomfortable, that puts us in a bad situation. We automatically avoid making trouble, getting into trouble and all of that stuff. But suffering is necessary to become the human being you are. If you don't suffer from a bad heartbreak, you won't realize what are the red signals in a relationship. If you don't suffer while getting a job, you won't value your job. If you don't suffer while growing a business, you won't value the profit that the business makes. If you just buy it from someone and the business is profitable and all I need to do is run it, you won't ever be able to be grateful for that business because suffering is necessary. Suffering teaches us the lessons that we need to learn to stay humble and grounded, to be the person we want to be. And by suffering only, you can grow. There is no other way. If everyone was going to win and no one is going to suffer, then life would have become really easy. But it isn't. Suffering is a crucial fact. Suffering is necessary for you to be the person you want to be. So if you are suffering right now, don't stop. Do the right things. You know what are the right things to do. You always know the right thing to do, but the thing is you don't do it because you think that there are risks associated with that. And you want to avoid risk. You want to avoid suffering. You always know what is the right thing to do to get out of that suffering, but you don't. So keep in mind that suffering is necessary for you. And you need to suffer. Without suffering, there is no success. If you're suffering right now, keep going and don't stop. Because this too shall pass. The fourth lesson is fuck happiness. Most of the people think about, I need to be happy. Like many people, we have read many books. Oh, do this to become happy. 7 things to do to become happy, Like, I believe that happiness is something that is, literally flawed. The concept of happiness is flawed in our society. You can't become happy because happiness is a fleeting emotion, like sadness. Happiness and sadness are fleeting emotions. At a moment you can be happy, like right now you can be really, really happy thinking about something that happened today or daydreaming about something else. And the next moment you might hear something bad news and you'll become sad. Happiness is fleeting. What you really need is gratefulness. You need to be grateful because you know what? At any moment you can be grateful. In any sad news you can be grateful. If you become angry you can still be grateful. Gratefulness is something that you can be every fucking time. But you can't be happy every fucking time. Like just think about it. Like for example, you failed in the exam. Like how bad the situation is. But you can be grateful about the situation, right? Like you can be really grateful about the situation that you failed and now you have 1 extra year. And what are you going to do with that year? You are not only going to study for it, right? Because you know that your classmates will go ahead of you. So you are bound to do something even more better. You start content creation, you start something else, you start a side hustle. Bro, that failure, because you failed at exam, that was a blessing. You need to be grateful for that. There are a lot of things you can be grateful for. Like for example, right now you can do this exercise with me. Just think about it. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes with me, okay? Just close your eyes and think that your parents have died. Like literally, your parents have died. Like how sad that fucking situation is. Now open your eyes and think about it. You have never thought the parents are going to die. Just feel the gratefulness that you feel just by knowing the fact that they are still alive. They're still with you. They're still providing you money. They're still providing you food. They're still providing you a place to stay. Like how lucky you are to be with your parents. Like you would have never felt, inner happiness right now. There is a fucking smile in your face, like even after knowing the fact that they are going to die in the future and you know that they're with you right now. Like you have this fond happiness in your face. You can be grateful anytime. That is how gratefulness works. Gratefulness is something really crucial for human beings because Most of people focus on what is bad in their life, what is going wrong. Like, we often think about, my job is not paying me well, my teacher scolded me, my girlfriend is not talking to me, she's ignoring me. Like, we focus on 1,000 things that are not going right in our life. We never talk about the two things that are going right in our life. Like, our parents are with us, we get to eat really, really good food. There are thousands of people out there who don't even get to eat good food. Like, just think about it. It is really crazy that we are not fucking grateful about our food and the water we get, because 90% of the people don't even get it. It's mind-boggling, right? So the fifth lesson is self-improvement is masturbation. Like, this is a really, really controversial topic. Like, self-improvement is masturbation. Nobody even talks about that. And I learned about this from a book called Fight Club. And if you have seen that movie, like the one with Brad Pitt, and the movie is really a distilled version of it. If you want to really understand the philosophy of what the philosophy of Tyler Durden and stuff, you need to fucking read the book. The book is even more complex and dives into so much concepts even more, like much more than the movie does. There was this concept called as self-improvement is masturbation, and that is really, really true. 99% of the books you are going to read is just fucking mental masturbation and nothing else. You're just reading the book and thinking that, oh no, this book is going to change my life, but you don't implement any kind of lessons from that book, and thus your life remains unchanged. And you think that, oh no, I need to read even more books to feel good now. And feeling books makes you feel that you are doing something productive, but you are actually not. You're not actually taking action and only reading books, and it creates a loop where you are only reading fucking books, not taking action and thinking that, oh, this is productive. And that is what the author refers to as self-improvement is masturbation. Thinking about stuff that you're going to do, not actually doing it. And when it talks about it, self-destruction is the answer. Self-improvement is masturbation, self-destruction is the answer. Self-destruction doesn't mean that in the movie, in the book, it was self-destruction means getting hit in the face, getting destroyed, getting hit and bleeding, but it's not like that. Self-destruction means destroying your ego, destroying your, limiting beliefs and getting out in the game. Like, right now you're not creating YouTube videos because you think that, someone who is your friend is going to judge you for making YouTube videos. But the truth is, once you become a huge YouTuber, they are going to say, oh no, oh my god, he is my friend, that guy is my friend, I knew him from school, and they're going to, you have seen that kind of things in movies. People do that kind of stuff. So you need to think that self-destruction means that destroying your ego and starting something that you really, really want to. There was a scene in Fight Club, if you remember it. There was a cashier and Tyler Durden just went and put the gun on his head and asked him, what do you want to do in your life? And he said that I wanted to be a, something doctor, like, dentist or something, he told him. And why didn't you do it? He told him, because I didn't have the money, and gave all the reasons. And Tyler Durden told him that if you don't do it tomorrow, if you don't go and enroll into a medical school tomorrow, I'm gonna come again and I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't do it tomorrow. And that is what, destroying your ego, destroying your excuses, destroying your limiting beliefs means. Self-improvement won't get too much far. It is just a cycle of masturbation where you're like thinking that you are going to change your life, but you will only change your life if you destroy your egos, limiting beliefs, and all the beliefs that doesn't serve you. So these are the 5 lessons that I have learned by reading books. Like these are the 5 counterintuitive lessons. These are the lessons that nobody will talk about. But these are the lessons that you need to learn about, because these are the fucking lessons that are going to change your life. So that's for today's video. And if you like today's video, subscribe to us, because here we help young men become the best version of themselves. So see you in another video, and until then, have a great time.